This whole session was about father knows best. We will tell you which pronouns your kids are allowed to use, and we will, because parents know best and we know best. We will break the rules in terms of sending women out of province for mammograms because we didn't have enough foresight to basically think that we have a problem here and deal with the system. And we should get credit for doing this, even though it's costing 10 times more than it should. And how dare you question that we didn't over and over again. This was the theme of this session. And I can't imagine that that's not going to eventually hurt government. They're doing this for a deliberate wedge issue, and maybe it's working for now. Maybe people are buying into the notion that there was a riot going on that's completely fictitious, and Jeremy Harrison is making up big fat ones in the House and in the Rotunda about what actually happened, which were just factually incorrect based on what security was writing in a letter saying, no, this did not happen. We did not lock you in the lounge. You chose to do that. No, the children were not threatened. And oh, by the way, if you were so damn worried about the children being threatened, why do you lock yourself in the lounge while the little kids were walking out? That's not what adults do. Adults take care of kids. And this is the problem. I think things like that are eventually going to catch up to this government at some point. But for now, I think sadly, in some ways it's kind of working for them because it really secures the base. It really secures the narrative about about them taking a strong stance on issues as they are with the federal government. And to be quite frank, one of the untold stories this session was basically every time they seemed to be getting into hot water, along came the federal government saying and doing something stupid to bail them out. And that's a wedge political issue too. But you know what? It works to their advantage. It's just you have to be reasonable, decent, and smart. And I didn't see that from the government quite often. And I certainly didn't see that from Jeremy Harrison. He got to question leadership here.
We did see the federal government come along and give the Saskatchewan Party government more fodder this week, the latest with this cap-and-trade system, Adam. And, of course, the Premier can still access social media in Dubai, so he's been able to weigh in on that as Saskatchewan tells its story at COP28. What's the Premier been doing this week?
Yeah, we've got some pretty good access, actually, to the Premier, to be fair, and they've made opportunities for us to chat with him, and they've put out his schedule, and he's been posting, and everyone that's over there, a lot of the people that we talked to beforehand are posting on social media pre-active, showing the pavilion, what's going on there, meeting with different premiers, both current and former, in Canada. And so I think, we have a sense of what's happening there. And the government, they spent a lot of money to go there. So they are kind of backing it up by saying, hey, we're doing something here. This isn't just us signing an MOU or going to meet with some people. It's $750,000+ on the pavilion space, $240,000 on ads, not to mention all the travel costs. Of course, the mayor of Regina is there, the city manager. So there's a pretty big expense to go to Dubai. And this is all coming, as you say, in the backdrop of, as Marie alluded to, all sitting long, there were carbon tax stories that were happening, whether it was the heating oil exemption in the Maritimes, which forced Sask Energy and the government to go, okay, wait, we're going to exempt it from people's bills. We're going to give them the break on cost of living. Then we had the Clean Electricity Standards Tribunal from the Sask First Act get put into work. We have the oil and gas cap this week, the methane, so it's just over and over again. I thought it was a fire hose of information. Plus the government saying, we're now going to spend money on carbon capture, spend some of this technology fund. We're going to put it into our SMR development. Mm-hmm. So all these things are happening. And as Murray was mentioning, there's just all this stuff also happening in the background. It was so overwhelming at sometimes amount of things that were coming in. As Murray mentioned, a lot of it went back to the federal government and Scott Moe, that familiar foe of, hey, you're doing wrong by us. And now he's got a platform in Dubai where he's sharing the story of Saskatchewan, as you say, and all this stuff is happening while we're talking about more emissions caps and things like that are going to affect Saskatchewan.